While you prepare the scoreboard for your clients, you may find situations when you want your clients to be able to change some label in a very fast and very easy way, or you want to be able to change the content of that label from an external source, from your application or from anywhere. So this is where dynamic labels come to play. Let's have a fast look of dynamic labels in this already existing scoreboard. For example, here we have the scoreboard for a paddle, and you have the player 1 name and the player 2 name. But the name does not appear. You only see the player 1. In this area here, you will find the possibility to change this content very easily. You can move it up or down depending on the amount of the quantity of the dynamic labels you have. But the idea is that here you can say he is Mike, and it has been changed in the scoreboard without any further modification, and this one is Angel, for example. So this is what dynamic labels are. Labels that you can change the content dynamically, right? By typing the content in the control panel or using the HTTP API. Let's see how to configure a scoreboard with this kind of labels. Let's start with a brand new scoreboard. Let's edit it. We will close this one. We will set as name dynamic labels demo, and the file will be and here we can create dynamic labels. Just let's add a simple dynamic label. We click on the button Add and we enter the label identifier. For example, player 1 name. We can have a description here that will be presented in the control panel. So we will say player 1. And here you find the default value. You can define whatever you want. For example, player 1. We can add a new dynamic label that will be player 2 name, player 2, and we will define as the default value, is to say the value that this dynamic label will have when you have not set anything, right? And here we have these couple of variables. Let's create a new slide. And let's go to edit it. We will add a new label, a normal label. When we set it in the scoreboard, you will see here that in the labels property area, you will find a fixed text, that is the standard behavior that we have had until now, is to say is a text that is not able to be changed, or you can indicate that this is a dynamic text. And we will select which dynamic label definition we want to present here. For example, player 1. In the definition moment, you will see this kind of information presented here. You will see that this is a dynamic content, and this is the identifier of the dynamic label. We can set the properties that we want. For example, we will say this font, and we will place this size, for example, right? Now let's duplicate this label, and we will set here the player 2. And now we save the configuration. When we click in Dynamic Labels, we see that the default value is here presented. We can change here the name of the player 1, for example, Mark, and Julie, for example, right? So here you can set it in the control panel, but maybe you need to set it from another application. So let's go to see the configuration of the terminals. We will select a port that is free, right? That here appears free, and we will enable the terminals. At this moment, we can click here in the terminals, and our web browser will display that we have no terminals defined. That is fine. The important thing is that this is answering you, right? You see this. Let's close it, and let's go to see the API. In the Dynamic Labels area, you will see that you have a set value and a get value URI. So let's copy the set value of the player 1, and let's close this window. Let's save this, and now we will open a terminal window, right? You can make this query from any application in your local area network. We will set curl, and we will paste the URI. We will change the new content text here by the content that we want to set. For example, Jack, and automatically the query has been sent to the LDSscoreboard, and it's automatically changed. The idea is that this URL can be called from any application that you may develop, right? So you don't need to be typing this in the control panel. The example is for the player name, right? But you can place any information that you want, correct? So that's it. It's easy, simple, and allows you to change content of the content displayed dynamically while the event is ongoing, just sending a simple HTTP request. That's all for Dynamic Labels. Thanks for your time, and see you soon. Bye bye.